The Second World War, one of the biggest wars in human history, was a global storm that reshaped humanity forever. More than 70 million people lost their lives, and every nation on earth was touched by its shadow. But how did such destruction begin? Was Adolf Hitler is the only reason behind all this devastation? To understand that, we have to go back to the end of First World War. In 1919, Germany was forced to sign the Treaty of Versailles. It was supposed to bring peace, but instead it made many Germans angry. The treaty blamed Germany entirely for the war, forced them to pay huge reparations and stripped away their lands. Later, a worldwide economic crisis made things even worse. Germany's economics collapsed. People in Germany had nothing to eat, no jobs, and no hope. They needed a voice, a leader, and in 1933 they found one, Adolf Hitler. Hitler is the leader of Nazi party who promised to restore Germany's greatness. He blamed Jews, communists, and neighboring nations for Germany's struggles. His speeches were emotional, angry, and full of promises.
Meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin. Auf dich selbst, auf deine Vergangenheit, auf die Leistung deiner Väter, ja, auf die Leistung deiner eigenen Generation. Vergiss 14 Jahre Verfall und hebe dich empor zu 2000 Jahren deutscher Geschichte. Das deutsche Volk ist nicht mehr das Volk der Ehrenlosigkeit, der Schande, der Selbstableichung, der Kleinmütigkeit und Kleingläubigkeit. Nein, Herr, das deutsche Volk ist wieder stark geworden in seinem Geiste, stark in seinem Willen, stark in seiner Beharrlichkeit, stark in der Tragen aller Opfer. Herr, wir lassen nicht von dir, nur Sehne unseren Kampf um unsere Freiheit und damit um unser deutsches Volk und Vaterland.
He rebuilt his army and ignored the Treaty of Versailles. But the world did nothing. Britain and France, still scarred by the First World War, wanted to avoid another conflict. They tried to maintain peace through appeasement, but they underestimated Hitler's hunger for power. By 1938, Germany had already taken control of Austria and parts of Czechoslovakia. The League of Nations, created in 1920 after World War I to promote peace and prevent future wars, failed to stop this aggression. Its weakness had already been exposed earlier when it did almost nothing during Japan's invasion on Manchuria in 1931. Then on September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland and the Second World War officially began. Just 2 days later, on September 3, Britain and France declared war on Germany. The world's worst nightmare had returned. But here's where things get more complex. Hitler's initial goal wasn't global conquest. He wanted to dominate Europe by creating Lebensraum, a German word meaning living space. He planned to take it by force, expanding eastward into Poland and Soviet territories to build a pure Aryan empire. As his victory grew, so did his ambition. Germany sought European domination, supported by its powerful allies, Japan and Italy. While Germany stormed across Europe, Japan expanded in Asia, and Italy under Mussolini joined the Axis powers. Countries entered the war for different reasons, some to defend themselves, others to gain influence or power. The Soviet Union fought for survival after Germany's invasion in June 1941, later seeking to secure influence in Eastern Europe. Britain fought to defend freedom and its empire, while the United States tried to remain neutral, at least for a while. But everything changed in 1941. German submarines began attacking American supply ships in the Atlantic. However, the real turning point came when Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. This attack forced America into the war. The United States declared war on Japan, and just 4 days later, on December 11, Germany declared war on the US. Now, the entire world was at war. For 6 years, the planet was on fire. Cities were destroyed, families were torn apart. This period also became known for Holocaust, one of the darkest chapters in human history. Millions Millions of Jews and other minorities were murdered in Nazi concentration camps. Humanity's faith in itself was shattered. Yet bravery shone through. Soldiers risked their lives, people helped strangers, and countries united to fight a common enemy. By 1945, Hitler's empire was collapsing. Surrounded in his Berlin bunker and realizing his dream was lost, Hitler took his own life on April 30, 1945. On May 7, 1945, Germany surrendered in Remis, with formal ceremonies in Berlin on May 8. In August 1945, after years of brutal fighting, the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. After the massive destruction, Japan announced surrender on August 15, which was formalized on September 2, 1945, officially ending the Second World War. When the dust settled, the world was not the same. Entire cities were gone. Millions were homeless. But out of those ashes came rebirth. The United Nations was founded in 1945 to prevent such a war from happening again. After the war, the world saw huge innovations in modern technology like radar, jet engines, nuclear power, and the first computers. Medicine also advanced with discoveries like penicillin, improved the blood transfusion, and better surgical techniques, saving countless lives. People learned that technology could both destroy and save humanity. Women who worked in factories during the war realized their potential, sparking women's rights movements. Nations under colonial rule demanded freedom, fueled by the war's distribution. The idea of equality, justice, and human rights gained strength, born from the pain of war. But the war also divided the world. The alliance that defeated Hitler soon split. At the Yalta and Potsdam conferences in 1945, the Allied leaders met to plan how Europe will be rebuilt and to decide the fate of Germany. However, tension soon arose between the US and the Soviet Union over how to run occupied territories and save the post-war world. These disagreements led the Cold War, a conflict of ideology, fear, and nuclear threats. The arms race, space race, and much of modern geopolitics trace the route back to World War II. So, what did people learn from it? Survivors said unchecked hate can consume the world. Silence in the face of injustice is as dangerous as war itself. Peace must be protected, and nationalism fueled by hatred and fear breeds destruction. Even today, historians debate whether countries fought for justice or self-interest. Britain defended its empire. America sought global stability. The Soviet Union pursued survival and later regional dominance. Yet millions of ordinary people, soldiers, nurses, and workers fought for the hope of peace. But what if the Second World War had never happened? Imagine a world without computers and aviation, which might have developed decades later. Colonial empires could have lasted longer, delaying independence movement. America and the Soviet Union might not have become superpowers. The map of the world would be unrecognizable, but maybe 70 million lives would have been saved. The war changed humanity forever, politically, technically, and emotionally. It showed how fragile civilization can be and how strong it becomes when it rebuilds. From destruction came innovation. From hate came awareness. From loss came lesson we still struggle to remember. World War II wasn't just a battle of nations, it was a battle for the soul of humanity. It reminded us that the cost of power is high, and when peace is lost, it takes generations to rebuild. History doesn't repeat itself, it warns us, and World War II remains the loudest warning humanity has ever heard.